Sand, 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 stain, chink. 50 degrees cooler than it was on Friday. Not complaining, just saying. Well, we're looking quite a bit short. Plan B. Should you start a video with a plan B? The dirt we've hauled out of the basement, we'll spread here to make this higher. Then we'll bring in our plan B. Still short. Plan B2. Now the old skill might be going. Something to lose. Well, we'll keep trying here. We'll clean it out a little more and couldn't get it to go. Old skill. It's been good to me, but I just can't get this thing to fire back up. We're heading out. We're getting out of here today. We've got about 30 minutes of work in. We drove 30 miles one way. Just kidding, guess what? Out of the ashes, the original Chicago Electric. Cleaned it up. Just kind of resituated the brushes in there, and it's rolling again. So we have more work we can do today. Thank goodness. Boy, that was stressful. All right, all the real high stuff done. What is the deal with this cat? Just crawling on my windshield too. Thinks it runs the place. Made a Menards run this morning, picked up a bunch of stuff we needed for the next step, including this concrete expansion foam. Not doing concrete, but this is what I found works pretty good for the backer rod. My gaps are a little bigger in most spots, just because of the taper and size of the cabin. First, we got to finish sanding. Almost done, couple hours left. We'll get that done here in the morning. And then stain. I also found these chinking tips on Amazon. This one's gonna help me get here. It'd be hard to get in there with a regular tip. Then I got these other wide tips. Because my gaps are so big, I'm gonna be putting quite a lot of chinking in. I think this will speed things along. Don't worry, that was the old busted skill. I would never throw the Chicago Electric. Testing, testing. All right, well, look at that. I know I've been having audio issues for, well, the entire life of the channel. So I finally went ahead and bought the microphone this weekend. Forgot about it yesterday. Probably my number one recommendation. I know my videos aren't always, the sound quality is not that great because I'm, moving a lot place, but maybe it'll be better now. Hopefully it is. Cabin's fully sanded. I just looked back. It was started sanding in May. So I took a couple of vacations over the summer, did some other things around the cabin, like the stair project and some other small things, but really it's been 4+ months of on and off sanding interior and exterior, and the exterior is finally done. That just feels great. The interior still has some work to do. I should look back how many sanding pads, hundreds of sanding pads, 6 grinders, 6.5 really. All right, well, where do I start? I think I'm gonna ease into it right there. Nice level spot, barely need a ladder. As it call you, darling. Walk to work day today. My water well digger reached out yesterday and said they potentially could be here today. I got to do a couple repairs on the driveway just to make sure everything's as smooth as possible to get that well rig up to the cabin. And then I parked at the start of my driveway because where I have the well located, it's potential that the well rig's going to block the whole driveway. So, but yeah, what a big day. This is one of those things, getting that well rig up there is something I've been thinking about for a long time. Not an easy spot to get to with all the turns and twists and the incline. So, well, guy says he seems pretty confident, so I'm hoping he's right, but $60 a foot, so I hope it's not too deep. Oh man, it'd be great to be under 200 feet, but here's our first spot. This outside turn, truck will start wide, but his back wheels might swing over to this ditch where I have this culvert. So my plan, I'll just put a piece of plywood over it, cover it with dirt so he can drive his wheels right up it if he needs to. Now the well is going to be over here, drilled over here. And actually I did do some work since the well guy was here extending this bank. I think I took it back like 4 or 5 feet. So if the rig's sticking out this way, I think there'll be still room to drive up to the cabin for the next few days, but hopefully he's not here all that long. And then we'll put our well here, and then we'll put the trench to the cabin right here where I have that sleeve for the water line. Big day. All right. Put work in on all our turns. On everything I think I can do on the road right now. So we just gotta wait for them to arrive and see if it's good enough. Oh boy. Front porch done yesterday. Let's start at the top. Here is the main reason I sanded the whole cabin. I never sanded, I never used that little belt sander to sand in between, and you can see, you know, how rough. But also the big thing is how the stain doesn't really penetrate the wood. So as you can see here, you can just tell the stain has penetrated the wood, and you can, it's probably gonna last a lot longer. So if I hadn't sanded the cabin, it would have been rough and ugly, and also I don't think the stain would have done as good of a job. Family stopped in, my buddy Rob stopped in, and you know who hasn't come? The well guy. Looks like another sleepless night tonight, thinking about whether he's gonna make the driveway or not. Nah, can't worry about it, right? All the ends are done. Now just the big long wall. So let's get that done, and then we'll get out of here. We went to move the mule to set up the perfect shot. Guess where my paint was? Oh. Really darkens things up, kind of makes the cabin blend in more. That'll do it today. We'll walk back to the truck, and if that old well guy doesn't show up tomorrow, I might just start digging my own. Just kidding. I did look into it, but for the depths that I would have to go, it looks rather challenging. I do have to put the UV guard, but tomorrow we're gonna get started on the chinking. See you in the morning. See, new tool day, new used. Meeting someone here at the gas station. Well, you'll see. But I want to thank Jesse. He saw me struggling last episode and suggested this higher torque, lower RPM drill for cutting those tenons. So I really struggled through, but this thing, I think, big right angle drill, and I think that's going to help me cut through those tenons without breaking my arms. It barely looks like it's even been touched. So let's head up to the cabin. Wouldn't it be great if that well rig was up there in place? Maybe they came after I left or this morning. Yeah, right. Well, I think I'll just drive all the way down today, and then I'll ensure they show up today. Oh, I just saw them flying out of their roost. They must have been roosting up in these pines. We'll do one final prep. So I'll just brush these down one more time. Thing's a bonker. I'm going to use this 30mm tip, but I think it's just a little wide. It's like over a ½ inch. I think we'll bring it down under a ½ inch with this. See how that lays a bead. Here's the one it came with. That ain't going to do the trick. And then here we go. There it is. Triple stretch chinking from Weatherall. Light gray that you guys helped us pick out. Like called a follow plate or something like that, but it's supposed to go right in your pail. I've never used one before, but I had a heck of a lot of trouble getting the chinking out of the pail on my last build. So I think it just goes down like that. Put this right on the nozzle. How much did it get in on our first try? I don't know, but feels pretty full. All right, that went on pretty easy. Line one done. I'm still struggling. I still see the gap. You can see it. I keep moving material to the middle, but where I laid the two beads, I can still see that line. But I'll keep working on it and refine my technique. Shouldn't have started head height where everyone's going to see that first one. Might have been a good idea to start somewhere a little more inconspicuous. Time for some lunch. I use two tools to smooth it out. First I go in with just a little regular old scraper, and I try to hit the top and bottom edge, get it to stick to that log best I can. I like to clean up my mess a little, because it seems to dry pretty quick. And then I come in with this foam, whatever you want to call it, foam brush, and hit the center. Kind of put a good pressure on it so it smooths it. And yes, we make another mess. Go back and clean that up after. And go back and clean it up again. There it is. No, don't walk there. All right, well, just got word. Well rig will be here in less than 2 hours, so I'm gonna go move my truck. Woo! Well, we didn't get much video. I was just kind of awkward to be videoing when they're working on getting the truck up there. Really wasn't too bad. They just had to back, you know, inch forward, inch back a couple times. They reversed it on all 3 turns one time. But other than that, it was way smoother than I expected. I'm not gonna start drilling tomorrow, but they will start on Monday, I guess. They don't work on Fridays, but I do, so we'll see you tomorrow. And woo! That's pretty exciting, because there was no real good plan B if that truck couldn't get up there. All right, see ya. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. So yeah, happy Friday. You can hear my voice. I think my microphone's a little off. A little under the weather today. We'll see what we can get done and then call it a weekend. So 33 footer made it up here. Look at the tire on that. I just wanted to see how long it was, just future reference on something that big getting up here. But yeah, 33 feet. Video archive that. And he's going to be drilling up here. They use water to drill, so some of that water is going to come down the bank and going to go down this ditch. And right down here is where I put that plywood to cover my culvert. So this morning I'm going to dig that trench back out so the water can flow through there unrestricted and not start to eat at my road. I don't know how much water they use, but they suggested that, so we'll uncover that. And good thing that I ended up putting that dirt in, because you can see their tire marks definitely went right over where this trench and pipe were. Their back wheels, you can see right here where the pipe is, right where it went. So that was a good suggestion they made to cover that up. Made life easier. All right, now the water should be able to flow down the hill, come into this ditch, go off onto the other side of the road. Thanks, Uncle James. I hate wearing them, but probably should. Lunch time. Oh yeah. Silly me, forgot to strap it down. All right. Definitely the right tool for the job, so thanks again, Jesse. These rolls are lighter. I'll throw the whole project off. Well, folks, that might wrap up my video here. I may go stain that front side with the clear coat, the UV Guard 2, or I may clean up around here because it is a disaster. Maybe I'll just call it a week and go home. What a week. Could I say this was the biggest week of the build yet? Finished the sanding, the exterior. Well truck made it to the top, and I started chinking. So, wow. And I got a microphone. Thanks for watching, and oh, great. Guess I'm not done sanding. I'm not done staining. Look at that. Totally forgot that one.